All right, sorry, I had to cut the other one off quickly. I saw it was close to 10 minutes, and YouTube doesn't let me put more than 10-minute length videos up, but it is working. It is hitting everything. It does a little bit of weird stuff when it hits corners, but that's totally okay for what we're trying to accomplish. So now what I would like to do is actually procedurally generate these blocks. So I would like to have them sort of scattered along here all over the place so that it sort of bounces off of them. And the way we're going to do that is we need to figure out how many blocks wide we can go. So if we think about it, well, it's going to be whatever the screen width divided by the width that's how many blocks we can have going this direction. So let's set that up. So we'll say let blocks wide equal screen.width divided by block sprite.width. Okay. Although we don't necessarily know what this is because we're going to have a lot of blocks generated here. So we're going to have to figure out a different way to do this. Can I do this? Okay, cool, I can actually do that. So I can set it based off of this image. That way I don't have to have this sprite on the screen at all, but I'm still going to be able to get the blocks wide. Now if I do console.log blocks wide, 5. Now if it's not a perfect calculation of math here, we're going to need to actually cast this or we're going to have to drop it down to whatever the previous one was. So we're going to do math.floor. And basically what that does, it just rounds it down. So if it doesn't quite calculate perfectly, it's going to round it down. In this case, it does. It's perfectly 5, fortunately. So we can round it down to 5. And now what I would like to do is get the height, get the blocks high. So let blocks high equal math.floor screen.height divided by, same thing, assets block.height. And now blocks high is going to be a little bit different. Sorry, high, not height. Blocks high. And this is going to be 7 because it's not as tall, so it's going to, it's going to be able to fit more blocks in this way because the blocks are 16, and then we've got, it's actually, I believe it's going to be 7.5, and now it's rounding it down to 7, fortunately. Okay, so this, I know that this is going to be how many high and how many wide. So what I would like to do now is I'm going to create another function that's going to place sprites in these positions here. Basically, it's going to fill the entire screen up, and it's not going to be very productive because the screen's going to be way too full. But we're going to say place blocks function place blocks, and then from here we are going to create some for loops. Now for loops, they will run, obviously we've worked with for loops before, so basically we're going to iterate through the width and the height. So we're going to say maybe the outer one will be the height, that way it goes left to right, top to bottom. So we'll say for let I equals 0, I is less than blocks high, I plus plus, and then inside of here we're going to have a nested for loop. For let j equals 0, j is less than blocks wide, j plus plus. Okay, so if I were to console log, let's do this, I dot to string plus comma, and then j dot to string, we would see, wait, why is that not? Oh, plus, sorry, plus here. And nothing's going to show up right now. Let's clear out our output. Take out these console logs here. And then I'm going to call this function that I just created, place blocks. Just like that. And now we can see it actually will generate values for all of these. So 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4. And then it goes to the next one, and the next one, the next one. So it's creating unique combinations of all of our blocks high and blocks wide. How will we actually place our blocks, though? Well, the way we do this dynamically is we're going to let's create an empty blocks thing. So we'll say, actually for this we can do const blocks equals an empty array. Okay, and then inside of here, we're going to say blocks dot, actually we'll say let new block equal sprite dot create, and then our image is going to be our block image. Block image like this. Okay, and that's just creating it right in the middle, but it's actually creating a ton of these. This is not just one block, this is all of the blocks stacked right on top of each other. So what I would have to do now is I would set the position, new block dot set position, and then if I were just to put I and J in here, it's not going to work how I want. You're going to see it's going to be kind of interesting here. It's hard to see what's going on, but if I were to put little boundaries on our block here, like this, little outer boundary, we would see a little bit different stuff here. Ooh, it's still kind of hard to see what's going on. It's actually creating a whole bunch of blocks starting here and then slightly moving them out here. So what I actually need to do here is I need to multiply the I and the J by the width and the height of our new block. So new block dot width, and then J times new block dot height. And now our ball is going to be just kind of screwed over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting. Why did it only build 5 here? And then it went too far this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I calculated this incorrectly somehow. Blocks wide, screen width, that should be the correct amount. This is supposed to be only 5. Oh, I have these backwards. So this should be J, and this should be I. There we go. Because this is the height area, and this is the width area. There we go. Now it's doing it. But the only problem now is that our blocks are slightly off here. So we need to add an offset to this. And what is the offset? Well, the offset is half of our height, half of our width. So we would say plus, well, let's do this as a separate variable here. I think it's just going to be a little bit nicer. So we'll say let x offset, oh, sorry, I'm doing it wrong, equal new block dot width divided by 2. And then we'll do let y offset equals new block dot height. And then we'll do width plus x offset, and then height plus y offset. And now it should fill in perfectly. Well, almost perfectly, because this didn't quite round correctly, so we got a little tiny gap at the bottom there. Next, we're going to kind of see what we're going to want to do with this. I don't want it to just place the entire thing. I just want to create a few blocks scattered about. So that's what we'll do in the next one.